Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 3 of Love and Bullshit, where we spread the love and air out
the bullshit.
Thank you. You see, I was like patiently waiting for Sherell to tap in. You feel me? And today's topic is, are you that somebody?
Are you?
Yeah, that's kind of deep, yo. Like, are you that somebody? Like, are you... So everybody should be that somebody for somebody, but are you that somebody for the person that you're with is the real question here, right, Sherell?
Yeah, I mean, you're not always going to be everybody's cup of tea, but you can always be somebody's shot of tea.
Ooh, say that one more. Please say that one more time. Sherell is on the road. Let me tell you, today is your day, man.
That's my day. I'm just, I need you to highly favored and blessed.
Did you remember what you said just now? I think you
I do.
Please.
So you're not always going to be somebody's cup of tea.
Yeah.
But you definitely will be somebody's shot of tequila.
Hello, amen to that. Sherell Rowe. Yo, you are on point. I can't even... There's no rebuttal to that.
Yeah, I mean...
So are you that somebody? So, okay, where do we start? Like,
well,
where do we start?
It's just... I guess we could start with saying that, people make so many changes in their life. Mm-hmm. You can easily start off by being that somebody and then end up not being that somebody.
Facts. And okay, so all right, so if we're gonna start with that, because a lot of the problem is that somebody never being that person from the beginning, right?
True.
So it's like, are you that somebody? Is the question for, are you that somebody for now, or are you that somebody for long term? Funny how Ali is right there.
But you gotta think about it though. So there are cases where you do meet somebody who kind of gives you that representative that they want you to see.
Yeah.
It's not really the real them.
Yeah.
But then there are some cases where people really genuinely are being themselves, but then being themselves is not working for you.
You or y'all.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It's just like you guys don't mesh. You don't gel. Something's like it's a disconnect in you being who you are.
Yeah, and that sucks. Because there's only one way to find out.
Exactly. You gotta go through the motions. You have to go through the relationship. And I think people get so scared of that, but honestly I feel like that's the beauty of life. Like, you got to stop fearing the unknown. No matter what you do, you're going to go through the ups and the downs. You're going to go through the heartbreaks. People are going to disappoint you. People are going to make you happy. It's not always going to be great times, but it's always a lesson in every single thing that you deal with. And relationships and the people that you come across are here to help you discover your journey, your lesson.
Discover you.
Because I feel like a lot of times the things that you go through in these relationships is to teach you about yourself.
Facts.
It's to show you something.
But look, to lay down the facts here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It sounds amazing, right? That whole theory of just relationships and what's supposed to be this and what's shit sounds amazing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, these lessons aren't learned by people in these relationships because, one, they're not taking the time to actually acknowledge what the issue is that they're going through.
Exactly.
So they never really address it. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like you're stuck. Like, you're mentally stuck. You don't know what the fuck to do because you're just in some shit, and it ain't like, are you that somebody? I thought you were, and then I'm trying to figure out if you are.
The hardest thing for somebody to do is to sit down and look in a mirror and look at that man or woman in the mirror and say, you know what, I have my own flaws too. Look at your flaws, because everybody has flaws. And it's always like, well, this person, he was saying mean things to me, or he cheated on me, or he did this and he did that. Yes, that person did, and that's stuff that he's dealing with.
Facts.
But what is it about you that you either stated that's keeping you in this relationship when you see the red flags?
Facts. And
that you continue to deal with these type of behaviors.
Facts.
That's a you thing. That's not a. You can't control anybody else's behavior, but you can control how you react to it. You can control what you deal with. You can control your own behavior.
And the crazy part about it is, you can really, in a way, control people's behavior. Because if you're with the person and you're into the relationship like you're supposed to be, you should know the things that will make that person move.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you should, anything you do, you should know, okay, if I do this, they're going to do that. If I do this, they're going to do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's weird, man.
But people ultimately, they move when if they want to, because they can honestly choose not to do anything. Even when you do these little tricks that normally gets them up, they can choose not to do it.
Facts. And you know, sometimes people have really great intentions and they intend to be a certain person for somebody, and just within themselves, they're just not ready to be that person. You know what I'm saying?
Because you always have this idea of like, oh, I want this and I want that, and then when you finally get it, it's like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, so can I switch this with that and I'll keep this, but what about...
And that just goes to show you that we as people, as humans, as adults, going through this journey, we're not only that, it's that we don't really know what we want.
Facts.
We don't really know what we want. We want what we want at the moment, and then when that moment comes and we get it, it's like,
The fucked up part about it, Sherell, is that we want what we want when we want it, and everybody doesn't, like, if we all gave the same energy, then cool, you know what I'm saying? But we all don't give the same energy. And a lot of times with people in relationships, they give energy at different times. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? One person is into it at this point more than the other person is. And then the dude might mess up. And then at this point, he's into it more than she is. You know what I'm saying?
Which just brings us back to the point where there are a lot of people walking around here who don't know who they are, and they take that so personal. It's like it's nothing. You're going through this journey. You're supposed to discover yourself. I don't care how grown you are. You can be 40-something years old. You're still discovering yourself. You're still discovering yourself. So it's not a bad thing to not really know who you are. A lot of people don't even take the time to figure out who they are.
And
so
that's the bad thing.
Exactly. So you're jumping into the relationships thinking that you want one thing, but then when you get it, you really don't want that.
You don't want none of it.
But that's the point of you going through these things. It's like, so you can figure out what it is that you want. You're learning these things, so it's like you're going to go through, but along with you asking for things that you really don't want, the ugly is going to come sometimes.
The crazier part about it is, like, even deeper in a relationship, when you ask for these things and you want it and you want it and you want it, and then you finally get it, like, you know, you don't have to say it whether you value it or not, because your actions are going to show how much you really value whatever that situation is. You know what I'm saying? You can blind it with all kinds of words and bullshit.
You can say whatever you want,
or you can say nothing at all. You know what I'm saying? Your actions,
and that says a lot.
But a lot of times, the person on the other end still receives those actions as that person trying or wanting to keep it together. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
but just like you and I were talking about earlier, man, perspective is definitely everything.
Yes.
And like I told you, it's like, you know, people always say, oh, I just keep choosing the wrong people. I just keep choosing the wrong men. I keep choosing the wrong women. No, you chose the right person for that time, that moment in time. That person was meant to come into your life to help you with something about yourself. I never look at it like I've chosen the wrong person. Every relationship has taught me something about myself. So I don't regret anything that I've been through, and I don't hold on to it. I'm not mad that I've been cheated on. I'm not, it's like, all those things happen for a reason. These are things that I needed to go through and discover so that I can deal with issues and traumas that I was dealing with from when I was little.
Facts. And it's crazy, man. So, you know, when you deal with those things, and then, like, okay, so nowadays, right, everybody's so in love with the thought of people. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that are you that somebody, a lot of it never is true anyway, because you just drew up somebody for who you thought that person was. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You can't always hold that person, and that be the fucked up part, man. Because some people be like, but I see better in you. I see this in you. Fuck what you see in me, nigga. Until I see that shit in me, I don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
You can't paint that for me.
Nope.
You feel what I'm saying? A better person, cool, but I'm not living like a better person. I'm not doing this like a better person. I don't feel like a world. I'm not talking about me, just for those who just might be tuning in. But you know what I'm saying? It's just different, man.
But see, people cannot paint a picture of who a better person, a better version of you should be.
Yeah.
You can only know what a better version of you should be.
Exactly.
That's an idea that they have. Like, this is my idea of a better version of you would look like.
And it's somewhat offensive. You feel what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's somewhat offensive. I mean, for real, because it's just like, I get you, I hear you, but it's just like, you know, it's just like your parents telling you, yo, you got to be a doctor. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be a fucking doctor, Dad.
Right, exactly.
I want to be a rap star.
No, Dad, you wanted to be a doctor.
Yeah, stop rubbing that shit. It's the same shit in the relationships. It's just applied in a different way. Fuck.
Yeah. So I just feel like, you know, people have to stop being so quick. And that's another thing. Unconditional love is something people really don't understand. Yeah. And you will never be able to understand it. If you cannot give unconditional love to yourself, you can never give it to somebody else. Never get to somebody else. Because, like, if you really unconditionally love someone, that means whether they are with you or not, you want the best for that person.
Yeah, but you know what? Nowadays, just with the way of the world and just how a lot of things are programmed, you know, people aren't programmed to want the best for themselves, and you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're just programmed to fit the program. Like,
exactly.
Tap into the universe and play your role, and you know, so like your worth is what your worth is in that circuit. When, you know, at the end of the day,
a copycat of
people should be having conversations with you beyond you showing up to somebody else's job punching in the clock every day, when somebody can be showing up punching in the clock and on your payroll.
Yeah, exactly. Because people get caught up in this. It's like this already made mold that people try to fit into, and I feel like you have to break out of these ideals that this is what life looks like. It's like you're born, you go to school, you graduate, you go to college, you get a job, you get married, you have kids, you get grandkids.
That's the American mold, though.
And you repeat it over and over and over again.
That's the American mold, yo.
That's not.
It's the American fucking mold.
That's not life.
It's the American fucking
that
mold.
Blueprint was literally laid in front of you from the day you were born, and then you've always just went by that, and like nobody ever questioned it. It's like, no, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Because that's what they told you to do.
Exactly.
Let me tell you something. In my fucking relationship, it took me forever to propose and get married. 15 fucking years. Why? Because I was never ready myself as a fucking man.
Right.
As an adult. I couldn't look myself in the mirror as a man and make that move.
Right.
Period. I don't give a fuck what anybody said, how anybody felt, if they looked at me any kind of way. You know, even her, even if she took offense to it, it's like at the end of the day, this is for the greater good for everybody.
Right.
So if you can last to the point where I personally feel like I'm mentally there, then we're all good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you can't, I don't know what to tell you, because then I'm feeling forced. And I don't want to feel forced.
That's going to be a worse situation.
Hello? Yeah, but you know, they tie it in when there's children involved and all this other shit. They make it make sense to the narrative of the universe and the American fairy tale.
People always have an opinion of how they feel like other people's lives should go. I've always felt like I just dance to the beat of my own drum, man. Like, no matter what, I've never felt like I really fit in one specific group. You know, I've always kind of did my own thing.
Yo, but you know what? Oh, my bad. No, go ahead.
No, I mean, that was pretty much it. I pretty much have always just did my own thing, because I could never see myself, like, going with the grain. It's so boring to me.
It is. But when you really think about it, it's like, it's really hard to go against it, because you have to have that mindset. Like, if you don't really think on your own, it's hard to move in another direction.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you're so used to people giving you they're telling you, okay, you're going to go to kindergarten, then you go from kindergarten to first grade. From first grade, you're going to do this, and you're going to go to this, then you're going to graduate, then you're going to go to college. After college, you're going to take that same skill that you learned in college, and you're going to apply it into your job where you're going to work at a corporation for whatever, you know what I'm saying? When at the end of the day, they should be teaching, you know, when you get out of college, you're going to be starting your business. While you're in college, you're going to start your business. Matter of fact, in high school, you can start it if this is something that you know that you really want to do. Because I had things in high school that I was doing, like clothes and stuff like that I dibble and dabble in now. that I was, doing in the mall, designing T-shirts and stuff like that, making money off of that shit. Like, if they would have taught me that shit, that I really could have started my own business and did it then in school, I would have been straight right now.
Yeah, they don't teach stuff like that. They definitely don't teach stuff like that. People never question anything like that, though. Like, why don't they teach kids real life stuff?
They're not. It's all programming. So I said that to say it's the same with relationships. The fairy tale lifestyle. You grow up. When you're not allowed to have a girlfriend till you're 16 or boyfriend till you're 16. When you're 16, you get to have a boyfriend or girlfriend. You can't have sex though. You may be able to explore, but it's still slap on the shoulder. There's a slap on the hand. It's not what you're supposed to do. When you turn 18, you can go to the tobacco store. You can go buy tobacco. You can buy cigarettes. You can smoke. You can do whatever you want. You can buy condoms too. You're probably having sex at 16, but you can't buy these right.
You're right.
It makes no sense. Oh, I don't know if they can now, but I haven't.
I have no idea. Yeah.
But okay. So now what? Now you find a girl, you get engaged, you get married, you have kids, and you live a long, happy life.
Well, how supposedly?
Fuck does that happen?
But it's like, how many people actually live that happily ever after ending?
It sounds designed. So it is designed. So you're telling me that once I do all of this, every step that I make has to be perfect. Right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not supposed to do this, I'm not supposed to do that. Okay, let's say I do fuck up and do that, whatever. Right? But when I get married, I'm supposed to get married before I have a kid. Right? That doesn't happen. But anyway, like, it's crazy.
It's like, how can you learn? We're all here to be creators in some way, shape, or form, right?
Yep.
How can you create anything when your life has pretty much already been laid out in front of you, being told that you got to do this? So now you're not even focused on your creative talent. You're not focused on your creative side, because now you're like, well, I can't do that because this. I need to do X, Y, Z. I need to start here and then move to this step and then move to this step. So now you're no longer focused on the creative side of yourself.
Nope, you're focused on what the program is telling you to do, only for you to accomplish everything that they've laid in front of you, just to see
and be unhappy.
That none of it was what you wanted the whole fucking time.
You were unhappy.
You was unhappy.
It's like you have to pick a career, and people are going to college and picking careers that they feel like, well, I'll probably be good at this. This is not like, but it's not their passion. It's just like, I think this is something I'll be good at.
Facts. I think one of the biggest things that we try to push for people to understand is, like, the freest part of life is really living in your truth, and that's deeper within your relationship. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because all the shit that happens outside, it starts in the house. You know what I'm saying? Where your mindset is in your house is how you're going to go out and act in the world. And, sometimes you take the energy from the world and bring it back to the house, like we always say. But, that's not what we want to get into. You know what I'm saying? But, man, love and bullshit.
Yeah, and trying to be that somebody. And it's like, are you that somebody? It's like, are you that somebody for yourself? It's not even about nobody else.
Facts.
Are you that somebody for yourself? Because ultimately, you are the most important person first before anybody else. When you add other people into your equation, when you bring them into your energy, into your world, of course, you want to be able to share that space and make that person happy.
Like, living in your truth also is understanding when you have to verbally and sometimes silently remove people from your space.
Yeah.
Like, that is major key. Like, if you can't do that part, then you'll never be able to live in your truth, because you gotta be, in these spaces where you can't be free.
People have so many attachments, though. Because have you noticed that throughout your lifetime, like there are people that come in your life that you ultimately become attached to, and there's no way that you never in a million years think that you can let them go. But in the back of your mind, you know that this person is either toxic or they're just no good for you. They don't sit right with your spirit, right? So you'll probably fight it, and you want to keep this person. You do everything to keep this person in your life, and then finally, when you get to the point where it's just like you cannot hold on no more, you have to let them go. Do you notice how your life changes in a different direction, and it's so much more positive?
Facts.
It's like so many things open up for you once you let that energy go.
Facts. People try to hold on to what's familiar, scared of the unfamiliar, which is pretty dumb because that contradicts life, right? Like if you want to be successful, you gotta be ready to jump in the fire somewhere, right?
Exactly.
You can't just be out here scared of everything. Like same in relationships, you can't crack the code. Hello, you'll never have that great relationship until you understand the relationship in a whole. So the only way to understand relationships in a whole is to deal with the asshole, is to deal with the cool guy, is to deal with the geek, and the flip side for us, you know what I'm saying, is to deal with the bougie girl, or is to deal with the hood rat, is to deal with, so we understand women, and men understand, and women understand us, you know what I'm saying, on a level to where it's like, okay, now I know. If I do this, this is how he's really gonna act. He might tell me this, and this is all the shit that I'm gonna see, but this is what's going on behind closed doors. How do I know? Because I dealt with these motherfuckers, and that was the result from all of them. Now, it doesn't always spill over, but it gives you a good enough idea of what's going on.
But fear is a human constraint. We create fear in our head, and it all boils down to, like I said, attachments, doubt, negative thoughts, all that type of stuff. Like there's really nothing to be afraid of. We create that in our head. Like, so we're always so worried of, we're worried about what people think about us. We're worried about if this job will work out. We're worried about, if we're going to get this money. We're worried about if this person likes me, or, we create these things in our minds, and it causes us to be afraid to take a next step because we just don't know what's going to happen. But at the end of the day, it's just like, just the door's right there, just the door is open, just step through it. There's nothing to whatever's on the other side of the door, and that's what people have to let go of the outcome. Whatever is on the other side of that door is ultimately going to be for you, regardless of what you think it is. Of what it might not be what you think, but it's going to be for you, and it's going to be good for you. So just step through the door. Stop being scared of it. Any situation that you've been through, that you were afraid of, that you had doubt, you went through it and you made it through. No matter what. We stress about things all the time. People stress over so many different things, big or small, all the time. But you faced it, even though you might have fought it for a little bit.
But you faced it.
You faced it, and you went through it, and you were fine. So what were you scared of? And we do this thousands upon thousands upon thousands of times in our lifetime, and we still move like we're scared.
Facts.
It's like, why do we do that to ourselves?
Yo, it's the most painful. And then, when you think of it, like, let's all be allowed a selfish moment right now, right? If you have one life to live and you don't know what comes after this life, right? Why would you limit any moment why would you restrict any moment of happiness to you being scared to expressing an emotion or saying words to a person?
Exactly.
That would change a whole situation. I've been in situations where I've thought to myself over and over, damn, if I just said this probably just change this whole shit.
Yep.
And wait, 2 years later, I finally have the balls to say what I need to say, and it changed everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, what was I waiting on?
Yeah.
Because you're worried about rejection.
Yeah. But you created it in your own head.
That's what it be.
You held yourself back.
The fucking demon on your shoulder.
You held yourself back. I got out of that habit a long time ago of not saying exactly how I feel, because I know, especially when you're dating and you're meeting people, and you're afraid to say something. You're like, no, I can't say that. This person's gonna think. I'm like, you know what? No. My thing is, I want to be able to tell you exactly how I feel.
Facts.
Because I want you to know, and I want you to hear it from me, and I don't want there to be any mistakes I don't want there to be any doubt or any other thing in your head because of what you think I might be thinking. I want to tell you exactly what I'm thinking, so you can never say I didn't tell you. Now, what you do with that information, that's on you.
Facts.
And honestly, when you get to the point where you're not scared of that no more, it's just like, look, this could go either way. You know what I mean? Like, I'm putting myself out there. This is not normally what people do, but I'm just going to tell you exactly how I feel. And if it's not reciprocated, I'm willing to accept that outcome too. Because you shouldn't try to force anything. You can't force anything. And I've also learned that if there's a situation where that it's not working out in the way that I wanted it to, it's not supposed to.
Hello.
And I'm okay.
It ain't changed from when you was a child.
Because I used to have problems with trying to control every single situation in my life, and it put me in some pretty bad spots. Because I tried to force a damn square into a circle.
You tried to do what? Say it again.
I tried to force the square into a circle.
Hello.
Because I wanted what I wanted, and nobody was going to stop me from getting what I wanted.
Hillary.
But the universe and my spirit guides had other plans. They're like, all right,
Trevor,
you can keep
hello.
You can keep trying to fit this in there, but all right, look, we're gonna go ahead and let you have your way, and then you'll see why we were trying to protect you from this all this time. But now, since you want it so bad, go ahead.
Look at Hillary kept trying to force herself with Trevor. We knew that wasn't supposed to happen. That wedding was not supposed to happen.
He went bungee jumping.
And look, God was like, listen, Hillary, I done tried everything. You know what, Trevor?
I just got to take him out.
Hey, listen, brother.
I just got to take him out.
You know, this contract ain't that much anyway.
But yeah, you can't force things, man. Like, so it's like another thing about not being scared. It's just like, be who you are. Be who you are. Stop trying to control the outcome. The outcome is going to happen the way it's supposed to, and if it doesn't happen the way that you want it to, it's okay. It's not supposed to happen that way.
And
stop trying to force it.
Hello.
Life can be so simple, but we make it so difficult because we have an ego. As humans, that's another human constraint. We have an ego, and the ego is going to tell you that this is what I want, and I'm going to do what I want. This is what we're going to get. This is how it's going to go.
It's how it needs to be. And if it's not like this, then we're going to feel like less of ourselves.
Exactly. But that's not part of your purpose.
Yeah, but you know what? The sad part about this is, right? There's a small percent of the people that's actually listening that's going to be like, damn, you're right. I need to put myself first and then figure out how to make other people happy. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And I'm going to tell you right now, we are all that intuitive side, that listen to your gut, we all have it. Because anything that's not meant for you is not going to sit right with you. No matter how hard you try to brush it off or sweep it under the rug.
Facts.
You are, in the back of your mind, you're going to know something's not right about that situation.
Facts.
And it's never going to sit right with you because it's not meant for you.
But until you go through it, you ain't going to know nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like anything else, right? You got to get on the field and get dirty. Like, if you don't get in the field and really learn, if you ain't if you have never been through a relationship, been through like the ups and downs that the normal person have been through in a relationship, right? And you're in a relationship and you've been in this relationship for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and it's actually somewhat working, it's because whoever that other person is, either they're a great spouse or they just mastered the art of you not knowing that you don't know shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's so much like, relationships are deep, like, niggas, we've been burnt on so many levels, and we've burnt women on so many different levels.
Mm-hmm.
There's been so much shit that everybody has a story that'll make somebody say, what?
Right.
Everybody has a story.
Right.
That'll make somebody say what? So, yeah. Fuck that. Live in your truth, and
just start being who you are. Stop trying to be what you think everybody else wants you to be. It's like everybody does this thing where they try to impress other people. It's like, why are you so hell-bent on getting validation from everyone else?
Are you that somebody for you?
Right.
What you say, Sherell?
Are you that somebody for you?
Hello.
Forget everybody else.
It ain't about the next one.
Running around trying to keep up with the Joneses all your life. Like, why?
But you know what? See, another thing too in the relationships where it goes south is like sometimes, because I've been in that position too, where that other person tries to force you to feel how they feel.
Mm-hmm.
Because y'all are in this together, so you're supposed to. So they're not wrong for trying to force you to feel how they feel, because the fact that they even have to question it is the problem in itself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If we have to talk about where we are in our relationship today, like in any way, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Because if this is an autopilot, it's an autopilot.
I just feel like people are lost, man. I've had a conversation with a female one time, and she was asking me if I owned a pair of red bottoms, and the answer is no, I don't. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, I'm not a label whore. I've never really been into labels. It's not about that I can't afford it. It's just that I just never really been attracted to that.
Yeah,
that whole side of things.
What really had me really not attracted to it in the beginning was the fact that, you know, people use it as a way to separate themselves.
Yeah, like that makes you a better person because you have, and that was pretty much my point because we were going back and forth about it. She's like, you don't have a pair of red bottoms? Every woman should have a pair of red bottoms. Why?
Sometimes I like to take advantage of those moments to wheel some of them motherfuckers back around.
Why should every woman have a pair of red bottoms? I'm very confused on that.
And remind them.
Does
like,
it make me a better woman? Does it separate me and make, you know, put me in some type of pedestal?
So what are you saying about me and you? How about that? Let's be more direct about this conversation.
And I'm like, yeah, you might have more expensive stuff than me, but like honestly, spiritually and mentally, you are lost. And that means way more to me than anything. I'm just like, I can't even really take this conversation seriously because you look at having high-end stuff like labels, Versace and Gucci and all. You look at that as like that's a status that separates like you and puts you above everybody else. And that's a mentality that I could never get into.
Because that's not a woman's mentality. Hello.
I just don't understand it.
That's a girl. That is a teenage.
You're very lost. And it's the same thing with men. Is like they feel like, oh, I got all these cars and I got this money and I could do this. That's great. And look, congratulations, because at the end of the day in this life, you need money. It's nice to not have to stress about stuff like that. I get it, but it doesn't make you a better person. Half of them are assholes.
Look, I know you felt that because you said half of them are assholes. Huff. And guess what? That is time for us to get the huff. Nah, that didn't work. Anyway.
They're assholes, though. So it's just like you guys are so mentally and spiritually lost because you're caught up in this shit that doesn't mean anything. Okay.
Facts. Well, guys, another one. Love and bullshit, where we spread the love and air out the bullshit.
Air it out.
And, Sherell, Rowe.
Yo.
Until next time.
Until next time, you guys. We appreciate you joining us.